Imagine this. You're walking into a city buzzing with energy. Tourists from all over the world fill the streets. Merchants call out their prices, and towering above it all is one of the greatest wonders of the ancient world, the Temple of Artemis. This was Ephesus, a city of power, a city of wealth and religious fervor. But something else was happening beneath the surface. Paul was preaching the gospel, and it began to shake the city to its core. Hey friends, my name is Donna Amidon, and as we continue our journey through Acts to the second half of chapter 19, we see a clear pattern happening. When Paul preaches the gospel, people respond in one of two ways. They either get saved or they get sour, and this is exactly what we've seen in Ephesus. In the first half of Acts 19, we've seen people respond with great faith and excitement toward the good news. Miraculous signs were happening. People were even being healed by handkerchiefs, and evil spirits were being cast out. Many were confessing and renouncing their practices. This change was real and visible. But just as some were being saved, others were getting sour. And this is what we see in verse 23. About that time, there arose no little disturbance concerning the way. For a man named Demetrius, a silversmith who made silver shrines of Artemis, brought no little business to the craftsmen. These he gathered together with the workmen in similar trades and said, "Men, you know that from this business we have our wealth. And there is danger not only that this trade of ours may come into disrepute, but also that the temple of the great goddess Artemis may be counted as nothing." What's happening here? Ephesus was home to the Temple of Artemis. People traveled from all over the world to see it. And when they visited, they spent money on shrines of Artemis. And so Demetrius, a shrine maker, saw Paul's message as a direct threat to the economy of Ephesus, and more specifically, to his own livelihood. Now let's pause for a moment and think about the bigger picture. It's a clash of two kingdoms, the kingdom of light and the kingdom of darkness. The kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of this world, a kingdom that Demetrius is desperate to protect. As a result of Demetrius's outcry, a crowd forms. When they heard this, they were enraged and were crying out, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians!" So the city was filled with confusion. Now some cried out one thing, some another, for the assembly was in confusion, and most of them did not know why they had come together. This scene is chaos, a crowd whipped into a frenzy, shouting and rioting. To me, it is the enemy's hand at work, inciting confusion and division to stop the gospel message. But here's what is so encouraging to me. Despite the opposition, despite the chaos, the gospel continues to go forward. How did it happen? The town clerk stepped in and quieted the crowd, saying, "If therefore Demetrius and the craftsmen with him have a complaint against anyone, the courts are open, and there are proconsuls. Let them bring charges against one another, for we really are in danger of being charged with rioting today." And with that, he dismissed the assembly. In essence, the town clerk told them, "We are in danger of getting in trouble with Rome for this riot, so let's all go home." And with that, the gospel continued to spread. Now, as I read this story, here is what is so striking to me. Today, Ephesus no longer exists as an inhabited city. It lies in ruins. And that once great temple of Artemis, well, very little of it remains. The clash of two kingdoms ends with light prevailing over darkness, with truth triumphing over deception. Ephesus is now a chapter in history, but Christ and his message are alive and well, spreading throughout the world and changing lives every day. So friends, let this encourage you. With Christianity, opposition will come. You might be the only believer in your workplace, your family, or in your neighborhood. You may face mockery or rejection for your faith, but do not lose heart. Keep shining, keep loving, keep living your faith in a way that others will see, because just as God was faithful to Paul in Ephesus, he will be faithful to you and me. His kingdom is unstoppable, and his truth always prevails. How have you seen this in your life? Let us know about it in the comments section below. God bless.